Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful little beaded bead. It consists of 4 8mm pearl beads. You can use glass pearls, of course. 8 5.5 or 6mm crystal beads. 4 3.5 or 4mm crystal beads. Some size 8 seed beads, and some size 11 seed beads. I also have a size 10 needle and some, you can use either 4-pound thread or a size B Nymo thread. And of course, a pair of scissors. Okay, I'm gonna start by threading on about 5 feet of thread, which will be good. And I'm going to start with a pearl bead. These are pretty quick and easy to whip up. So I'm going to add a pearl bead. I'm going to add the 5.5mm crystal, a pearl, and a crystal. I'm going to pull my thread down. I'm going to leave about 6 to 8 inches just for tying off later. I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to go back up through a pearl bead and a crystal bead. And this will be the tighten up row. So I'll go through the next pearl and the next crystal. Okay, and then I'm going to tie my thread off here. I'm just going to use a simple square knot. But I'm going to tie it pretty tight just to make sure that, you know, everything is nice and snug. Okay. Now, where my knot is coming out, you'll see right there, I'm going to go back up a pearl bead. Just like that. Now, basically, we're doing a right angle weave. So, you know, it's going to be the same as usual. I'm going to add a crystal bead, a pearl bead, and a crystal bead. Going to go back up this pearl bead. I'm going to hold it in place, and then I'm going to go around one more time and then back through this one again and down through the pearl bead. So going through there, and basically this is just to keep it tight because, you know, you want the bead a little bit stiff, not too stiff though. Okay, so I'm going back around. Back through here and down through here. Okay, and then when you pull snug, you know, it'll be sturdy. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. So I'm going to add a crystal, a pearl. If my needle will go through it. There we go. And another crystal. Now this time where the thread is going down, I'm going to go down from the top. And we're just basically looping the thread around. So just like that. Now I'm going to go around this way. So back through here one more time and then back down through there, then back up through these two. It's always fun to have good music while I'm beading. I tend to like blues rock and sometimes hard rock. But what do you like to listen to when you bead? And I got to rethread my needle here. Yeah, leave a comment down below. Tell me what kind of music you like to listen to while you're beading. I'm interested. Okay, gonna back down through here. Make sure everything is tight. back up through here, and up through the pearl. Now we're going to create our round, so I'm going to add a crystal. I'm going to fold this under and then go through this bead, which is the very first bead I had in the row. I'm going to add another crystal and back up through this one. Then I'm going to go back through all the beads again, and then I'll end up going down this one. So I'm just going to keep going. And I like to hold down my tail thread with my fingers just so it doesn't tangle up with the rest of them. And sometimes the thread pulls through, so you got to watch that too. Okay, so I'm going to go through here and down. Okay, so we've got that all done. And you'll see it's still a little bit loose, but what we're going to do now is going to tighten up the rows a little bit. So holding down the tail thread with my other finger, I'm going to go through the top crystal bead here. And I'm going to add a size 8 and go through the next crystal bead. So not only does this tighten up the row, but it also hides the threads in between the two crystal beads. So I'm going to add another 8-0 and go through the next crystal bead. Another 8-0 through the next crystal bead. Another 8-0 in the next crystal bead. Okay, perfect. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the pearl bead. Just pull kind of tightly. Keeping the tail thread out of the way, I'm going to go through the next crystal bead. I'm going to add an 8-0. Go through the next crystal. And 8-0 through the next crystal. You can feel the beads starting to tighten up too. Alright, 8-0. Nice thing about this project is it doesn't use a lot of beads. So, if you have leftover spare beads, you could use any color combination you like. Alright, through the last crystal. Now I'm going to go back up through the pearl bead, and I just do that to, make sure everything's tight in my row. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 8-0, and I'm going to start doing some X's right here in the middle to sturdy up each of these beads that are in the center. So on starting this one, I'm going to add 4 size 11s. I'm going to add the tiny crystal. And bear with me, it's kind of hard to see them. All right, and 4 more seed beads for the size 11. Okay, now you see where it's coming out of this one? I'm going to go through this one on the opposite end so it crosses over the pearl beads. Now I'm going to add 4 more size 11s. Add a crystal. 4 more 11-ohs. And I'm going to cross over to this seed bead. So it's just directly across from the one I'm coming out of. Just like that. Alright, and now we're going to add 4 more 11-ohs. A crystal. And 4 more 11-ohs. Okay, now I'm going to cross over. So I came up that way, so okay, let's see where I'm at here. Crossed over that way, so I'm going to cross over to the next one. And if you get lost while picking up beads, just check where all the pearls are going across, and you'll be able to find your spot. Okay, and one more round, so I'm going to go 4 11-ohs. One crystal and 4 11-ohs. Okay, so now we're going to go down. Since we came up that way, we're going to go down this way and back through the original 8-oh we started with. Okay. Now we're going to turn around and go the other way. So I'm going to go up these 4 and up through the little 3mm crystal. It's either 3.5 or 4. Mine are 3.5, but you know, they're interchangeable. So 3.5, 4 is all fine. All right, I'm going to add 4 seed beads. Then I'm going to go through this one. So we're going back. Instead of going this way, we're going back. So I'm going to go this way and pull it nice and tight. Then I'm going to add 4 more 11-ohs. And then make sure that the hole, you know, is facing up and down just like this. So you're going to go down the little crystal and add 4 more 11-ohs. Okay, then I'm going to go back through this 8-oh. And you're going to see it just kind of makes a ring around the pearls with crystal accents. So I'm going to add 4 more 11-ohs. And back up through the little crystal. While pulling tight. 4 more 11-ohs. Through this 8-oh. Four more 11-ohs. Okay, down through the crystal. Pulling tight. 4 more 11-ohs. This is really easy to do. I have so much fun making these. Okay, and 4 more 11-ohs. Back up the crystal. And then back up the 4 first 11-ohs that you put on and through the 8-oh. Just like so. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a crystal. I'm going to go through here and under the thread, and I'm going to tie a half hitch knot here. Going to go through an 8/0 and I'm going to go through the next crystal bead. And I'm going to do a half hitch knot here. And I'll go through the next 8/0 and the next crystal bead. Oops. And I'll tie a half hitch knot here. Just make sure you get under the threads so it'll have something to grab onto. Alright, then the next 8/0 and crystal bead. Tie another half hitch. I just like to tie a half hitch all the way around, just keeps it a little bit stiffer. Alright, last one. Going to tie the half hitch knot. Then I'm going to go through the 8/0. Nicely through the pearl and through an 8/0 and a crystal. Then we're going to tie our half hitch notches all the way around. Through an 8/0 and a crystal. Tie a half hitch knot. Another half hitch knot. Oops, lost my thread. Bear with me. Got to tie back on here. Okay. And one more. Then I'm going to go through the 8/0, back through the pearl, and I'll trim here. Now as for the tail, just go through a few beads and just go around a couple of times and then just tie it off because it's already tied off at the end. Alright, and so we have our beautiful little beaded bead, and I'm going to show you with a piece of chain just what it looks like on a chain. So I'm going to run my chain through. There you have it. You can make a necklace, you can make add-a-bead bracelets and add on other beads. Just put a small clasp on it. And there you have it. Your beautiful beaded bead. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments down below. May creativity be your guide.